Hi everybody, just before we start today's show, I just want to remind you that the premium group for new members is closing. So I'm going to close down the premium group for new members, not for current members, but for new members. I'm closing it on the 31st of May this year. So we've got 11 days to go. If you want to join in the premium group and get calls, 30 to 50 calls every single month, with an average call making about 20% profit, it can go from 20% all the way up to kind of 200, 300, 400%. If you want to join us in the premium group, there's a link down below to join us there as well. And that is closing its doors to new members on May the 31st. Okay, on with the show. Okay, so we'll jump over to the news stories just now. We'll jump over to kind of what's happening in the markets just now. So in the markets just now, we'll just refresh this on coin market capitalization. Bitcoin has gone down to 7,866. We've got a market capitalization of 244 billion. So that's fallen a couple of billion because the price of Bitcoin has fallen a couple $100 over the last couple of hours. Bitcoin dominance has gone up to 57.1%. Winners just now, Japan content, that keeps jumping in and out of the top 100. Next, 32% up, Solve up 17%, only 3 in double-digit greens. And there's only about 12% in green just now at this moment in time. The other, say 85% are in the red at the moment. That's of the top 100. Who's the biggest loser? Decred, Artblock, Decentraland, Digibyte, Omisigo, Cosmos, Walton Chain. Not by that much, not even in double digits. And we can expect a wee pullback. We've had a good run for the alts as well, but another run coming, I think, as well. So that's the top 100. We're looking at crypto bubbles just now. This is over the last hour. So you can see we're kind of mainly in the red just now. So we've still got an overall positive sentiment with regards to crypto, but we're just being very ultra cautious just now. And this red kind of indicates that we are being cautious. And this is because of the Bitcoin price falling. We have to remember this with crypto bubbles. If you're looking at this at BTC value, I think it might be different. I don't think it would be as red, but this is because of the Bitcoin price falling. If the Bitcoin price falls, that obviously has an impact on the price, the dollar value of the altcoins as well. So it doesn't give us that much, but it gives us a wee bit of the sentiment over the last 24 hours, been more or less the same as well. So that's that. We'll look at the Bitcoin price just now. We're down to 7,900. This is on a weekly candle just now. It's not the weekly candle, but the weekly chart just now. I'm going to take this one out. I don't think we're going to go back down to 5,400. 6,400 we might go down to again. 7,000 is a support there as long as we hold above that. And 8,000 obviously a psychological kind of barrier there as well and support. So why I think we're going to go up to $11,000 for Bitcoin. I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks, but we've crossed over on the weekly. This is a weekly. This is the first red candle we've had on the weekly for the last over the last 4 weeks, and we're just starting this new weekly candle. But if we can get over 8,400 and stay above 8,400, now we've kind of gone through it very, very briefly and come back down again. But we've not really, it's not really gone through kind of 8,400 and stayed above there since this time last year. So 16th of April was the last time it kind of went above 8,400 and stayed above that and went up to 9,900. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to get above 8,400, stay above there, stabilize. Then we're going to move on up to 9,600. If we get through that, we're going to go up to 11,000. Possibly then we might hit the bump in the road, come back down to 6,500 and then shoot back up again from there towards the end of the year. So I think that's what's going to happen. And I think 11,000 is going to come sooner rather than later within the next couple of months. But we'll need to wait and see kind of what happens with that. But that's what I feel with Bitcoin. I think we're going to have a good run on the alts as well. The alts are coming off their all-time lows just now. And we'll just look at some of the alts just now as well. So who's doing well on Binance? This is on Binance just now. BNB coin is up to 361. I've recommended that. Fuel is up 36%, but it's already kind of been up to 159. So it was up higher than that. So it's doing well. Fetch AI, Seller, Sky, Matic, all up. Matic's been on a parabolic run for Matic, which has been fantastic. I do starting to move as well. I wish I'd called that this morning, didn't call him. So we've got a couple of pages in the green on Binance, just coming up for a couple of pages. in the green. Normally when Bitcoin falls, we'll drop a lot of that going into the green. There won't be as many. And when it shoots up too quick, it'll be exactly the same. We might have 4 or 5 in the green. But we've got a good few in the green just now, but we need to wait and see what happens with the Bitcoin price. Just now, we're starting to move back up again, so it might be good. Okay, so take a look at the news. Facebook unexpectedly plants its flag in crypto-friendly Switzerland. So this is from CNN. Facebook has reportedly set up a fintech company dubbed Libra Networks in Switzerland, and the move clearly correlates with the social media giant's Project Libra, which I spoke about as well, and I spoke about in the news. So according to Reuters, the focus of the fintech is on the blockchain, payments, data analytics, and investing. So Libra Networks, which was registered in Geneva on May the 2nd, will provide financial and technology services. Also in its wheelhouse will be developing related hardware and software. So this is another secret move as well. Famed investor Mike Novogratz recently called Project Libra stunningly important to the crypto space. Given Facebook's history of boasting about its project, you'd think it would be bragging about Project Libra. That's not the case. The Switzerland move was done with no fanfare such as company press releases or blog posts. This seems to be the way Facebook has chosen to roll out its Project Libra. So it's keeping things close to his chest just now, but this could be extremely important for crypto space as a whole. Imagine you have 2.5 billion people who don't really know about crypto, who will know about crypto once Project Libra comes out, because it's going to be on a blockchain if Facebook brings out its own coin. So you're going to be able to make payments, micropayments, etc. on the Facebook network, and if they've got their own coin, then you're going to have 2.5 billion people asking the question, what is cryptocurrency? Or first of all, they'll ask what the Facebook coin is, what is the Facebook coin? And then Facebook will come out and say it's a cryptocurrency, and they'll just say, well, what is cryptocurrency? And then you're going to have 2.5 billion more people exposed to cryptocurrency. This is going to be huge for crypto space as a whole, if they do come out with their own coin, or if they might buy up another kind of project. They might just buy and take over another project. I don't think they will. I think they'll come out with their own coin. But we'll need to wait and see what happens with that. But if and when they do, it's going to be extremely important for mass adoption. Extremely important. Will the SEC VanEck decision cause a crypto crash? This is from Luke Thompson from Ethereum World News. Crypto markets have been on fire in recent weeks. Some say they've gone up too fast and a massive correction is inevitable. Charts have been on a 2017 Redux as Bitcoin went parabolic again. So the SEC VanEck decision is tomorrow. The cryptosphere is starting to express concern about the imminent decision on the VanEck exchange-traded fund by the US Securities and Exchange Commission. The proposals for Bitwise and VanEck were published in Federal Register on February 15th and 20th respectively. The regulator then has 90 days to make a decision, which for VanEck is due on Tuesday, May the 21st. So there's 3 possible scenarios here. First, the EFT could be denied. ETF it should be, not EFT. ETF could be denied. Secondly, it will be approved. And thirdly, and most likely, there will be a further delay. I'm thinking there's going to be another delay. I'm thinking the markets are just going to shrug it off. It might go down a wee bit. Bitcoin price might go down a wee bit. But I don't think the market gives a shit anymore, to be honest. If it's released, then brilliant. If it's passed and they do get the ETF, VanEck, then it's going to be good for the crypto space. If they don't get it and it's delayed again, I just don't think they're going to care, to be honest. I really think that's what the likely scenario is. So Alex Kruger, who we kind of follow on Twitter, the SEC must announce a decision on the VanEck Bitcoin ETF within 90 days, which is May the 21st. A rejection would likely result in a great opportunity to buy the dip. I don't think so. A rejection, if they kind of just said no, they're not doing it, then Bitcoin price I think would fall. Definitely, I think that would happen. If they delay it, I don't think it's going to have any effect on the price whatsoever. So just keep an eye on that as well. Josh Rager as well, to answer ETF questions. May 21st is deadline. Expected outcome is delay with likely minor impact on price. Slight pullback to support, which is brought up. Even with the delay, BTC could continue to push up in the coming weeks to nearly new high. So Josh is kind of bullish on Bitcoin as well. I don't know what he thinks it's going to go up to as well, but I certainly think it's going to go up to 11,000. Arthur Hayes, the CEO of BitMEX, the most widely utilised margin trading platform for crypto assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum has said that the Bitcoin bull market is real. Hayes said on Twitter, the bull market is real. A momentary dip below 7,000 and a few days later we are back above 8,000 and the June and September contracts are in contagio booyah. So the optimism towards the price trend of Bitcoin from Hayes follows a powerful recovery demonstrated by the dominant cryptocurrency in the past week, in which the asset rebounded from 6,400 to 8,000 in less than 3 days. So it's just saying market ate up the drop. As one cryptocurrency trader said, hell of a bullish weekly close on Bitcoin with nearly record-breaking volume, solidifying the strength and validity of this rally. BTC USD is full of bulls. It is indeed, and I feel that way as well. So Arthur Hayes is bullish on Bitcoin. Game of Thrones ignites barrage of Bitcoin bets on who will take the Iron Throne. I don't know if you're watching that. We're binge watching it again. We watched it when it first came out, the first 7 series, but we're binge watching again before we get to the 8th series. So we're at the end of the first series, and we're nearly finding out who's going to have the final kind of crown at Westeros, who's going to be the true ruler of Westeros. I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones. I love it. I think it's amazing, and it mimics the way we live our life just now. It just mimics it perfectly. All the backstabbing, as in politicians, and just the little people get stood on all the time, as in what's happening today. It mimics kind of what's happening just now, which is what it's meant to do in the first place. FreeBitcoin.in, a Bitcoin BTC faucet on its platform, hosted this betting game for its registered users to place a bet on the best choice of who would ultimately sit on the Iron Throne. Among the choices were obvious ones like Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, and Cersei Lannister, but there were also other options like the Stark siblings, Bran, Arya, and Sansa, Tyrion Lannister, Gendry Baratheon, and the Night King as well. So this is a betting game that's come out as well. The much-awaited Game of Thrones series is coming to an end, and the true ruler of Westeros is still a debated topic. However, the Cryptoverse made things interesting for the GOT fans as it introduced a betting game for fans to earn the largest cryptocurrency in the world, Bitcoin. So this is just always a nice kind of piece of news as well. It's just good. And this is more about the SEC commissioner optimistic about Bitcoin ETF, but delay of VanEck proposal most likely. And this is a commissioner coming out and saying this. So I spoke about before, experts weigh up SEC options. We've kind of spoke about before as well. We're not going to go over it. And this is talking about Ripple, newsbtc.com. Price near make or break levels. Can bulls take over? Talking about the Ripple price analysis. Ripple price formed support near the 36 cent level and recently recovered against the US dollar. The price traded towards 43 cents and is currently correcting lower towards 39 cents. And there's a short-term rising channel forming with support near 39. On the hourly chart of XRP USD, the pair is likely to bounce back above 41 cents or could decline sharply towards the 36 cent support. So XRP we'll just look at just now, and we'll go to the USD value, which is what they're talking about here. And we'll go to Bitstamp price. So we're at 39 cents at the moment. This is on the weekly, and we're going to go to the hourly on this. So it looks as if it's going to fall again for XRP. To me, it's still an accumulation zone for XRP. Anything here, anything there, anything sky high, it's still accumulation zone for XRP. You know I'm very bullish on XRP, and I think it's going to explode at some point, and it has already kind of exploded it when it was 29 cents. But before then, if we look at price, when it kind of went, just get a price here, and this is back in December when it went from 23 cents all the way up to $3.30. That was the first jump. And then when it went from 27 cents up to 76 cents, so nearly 200% gain. I think the same is going to happen very soon with XRP as well. Now, if you look at XRP BTC on Binance, different kind of looking story here. So we're getting to this low where it jumped previously, and I think that is what's going to happen from here. That's a more likely scenario. So we might get back down to about 4,100 for XRP before it shoots back up and goes up another 200%. Hopefully this is at a more sustained rise though. So we'll see what happens with Ripple. Analysts call for $10,000 as Bitcoin stabilizes around $8,000. This is Ethereum World News as well. So this is talking about the Bitcoin closing a weekly candle strong. So closed on a weekly candle for BTC, which we just seen there just now. It closed very, very strongly. I just showed you that there just now. And this is a weekly. That's a big kind of weekly candle there. Obviously, it did get down to as low as 6,178 and as high as 8,390. So it's a big, big kind of body and wick there as well. So it closed it really, really strongly, but already a red candle forming on the next weekly candle there as well. And this is... So this is kind of big potential big story, but there's been hacks and stuff like that as well. You can now send and receive Bitcoin on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp users can now send and receive Bitcoin and Litecoin via the popular messaging platform thanks to Lite.im bot. The announcement is the latest attempt to simplify the cryptocurrency transaction process, bringing virtual currencies closer to the everyday person. So this is about sending on WhatsApp. Obviously, there's millions of users using WhatsApp. Again, it's good for the cryptosphere as a whole if you can actually do that, and it tells you how to use that using Lite.im as well. So it's just making, and this is what mass adoption is all about, just making it as simple as using a bank card and swiping, and you've got your goods or whatever you're going to buy with your Bitcoin or with your XRP or with your Ethereum, whatever you want to kind of buy. So that's what it's all about. WhatsApp and Lite.im are trying to do that, and it's looking good for cryptocurrency as a whole. We're not going to that news story. I'm just going into some other news stories. CZ explains how Binance dealt with aftermath of $40 million theft. So on Sunday, May the 19th, Changpeng Zhao, aka CZ, the co-founder and CEO of digital asset exchange Binance, told the crypto community what he and his team had been up to since May the 7th security breach that resulted in a theft of over 7,000 BTC for the Bitcoin. So I'll post these kind of news stories for you as well. So basically what he did, he came out straight away and said, listen, we've been hacked, 7,000 BTC, we're going to have to close down the exchange. But he dealt with it as a leader, as a good leader. CZ dealt with it. You know, I'm bullish on kind of Binance, the coin. I like Changpeng Zhao as well. A lot of people don't like him. I think he kind of does things underhand. I still think what he's doing is brilliant for Binance, is brilliant for crypto space as a whole. And the Launchpad series, the kind of everything else he's doing, I think is really good, despite what other people say as well. I still really like CZ. And it just goes on to say what they've kind of done here since this. And he's kind of said, this could be a blessing in disguise, speaking with various team members and as correctly analysed by community members such as Gautam Chungai. This incident may actually be a good thing for us in the long run. Security is never-ending practice. There are always more things to do in security, and we've implemented many of them in the last week and will continue to implement more in the future. Given this incident, Binance has actually become far more secure than before, not just in affected areas, but as a whole. And Binance, if your kind of funds get taken from Binance, then you're semi-insured with Binance as well. If they're hacked, you're semi-insured with them. Like 7,000 BTC are all going to get taken up by Binance. It's not going to be a kind of user funds. They're kind of taken out as well. But it's from their kind of hot wallet as well, not the cold wallet. So I just really like how they dealt with this, how CZ dealt with it. And it's coming back stronger than ever for Binance. If you look to the price, you think if this happened in the stock market, the price would totally tank almost to zero and everybody would just try and get out as quickly as possible. But they haven't done that with Binance token. And I think he's done himself proud the way he's handled it. This is Bitcoin price analysis, 8.5K now in sight to end bear market. This is from bitcoinist.com. And again, there's loads of kind of analysis about what's going to happen. And this was on kind of yesterday as well. But things change very quickly in the crypto space. Bitcoin searches rocket to 13-month high amid 60 minutes hype. So I don't know if you've seen this program on 60 Minutes. A lot of people were talking about it. So I was just talking about 60 Minutes, how it's had a parabolic growth. I was talking about Charlie Shrem there as well. I've not seen all of it. I've just seen a bit of it. So Google searches for Bitcoin have climbed to a 13-month high in tandem with its price spikes following the brutal 2018 crypto bear market. And Google Trend tracks search interest for certain terms. Interestingly, the countries that are leading the Google searches are not cryptocurrency powerhouses. So we've got South Africa, Netherlands, Slovenia, Austria, Nigeria. Rising public curiosity over Bitcoin isn't surprising given how volatile the market has been. So what was this last month? Yes, CBS 60 Minutes shines spotlight on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin searches are climbing this weekend, it's probably because of hype surrounding tonight's 60 Minutes episode. As CCN reported, the cryptocurrency is being spotlighted on 60 Minutes, which airs on CBS, and crypto community has long wanted mainstream media exposure for the nascent market, and now it's getting its chance. So we'll see what happens with the aftermath of this is, the 60 Minute. I've not seen all of it, as I said, so I can't really comment on it. But that was aired as well last night, so it'll be interesting to kind of see more of that as well. Yeah, I've seen this as well. Meet the man who spent millions worth of Bitcoin on pizza. It wasn't millions of worth at the time. So it paid 10,000 BTC for a pizza. And this was way back, obviously. And I would imagine he's made a lot of money from being that guy who's done that. And I would imagine he kept a lot of Bitcoin as well. We've got to remember that as well. The Bitcoin virus continues to spread. 732,982 Bitcoin addresses now own more than one Bitcoin. This is from Kevin Rook. So this is the address with more than one Bitcoin. You can see, I don't know if we can get a bigger picture here, we can. So May 2009, somebody with more than one Bitcoin, under 100,000. It only got to over 100,000 in 2012. And we kept on going up, this parabolic run up as well of the number of people that own more than one Bitcoin. So we're up to over 700,000 that own over one Bitcoin now, which is amazing. News story, I suppose news story as well. I'm not going to that. I'll kind of post that as well. Don't want it to go on too long. But I'll post these news stories for you as well. Bitcoin threatens to take power from the US Federal Reserve. And again, I'll post that as well for you. Okay, I want to leave it there just now. Have a brilliant day, whatever you're doing. Until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.